Well, joining me now, newly minted IBF. What is it? IBF. It is IBF, isn't it?
Yeah.
World champion.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten for a minute. After your victory, Ebanie, over Maria Cecilia Roman in Leeds last weekend. Just tell me, first of all, many congratulations. I've known you a few years now, and I know how hard you've worked for this. You seemed emotional afterwards. You were waiting for those. You were also on tenterhooks while the result was about to be read out. How did it feel, and how does it feel a week on?
I mean, I think it's kind of starting to like kick in, if you know what I mean, hit me. Obviously at first, like just when it got announced, I was just over the moon because I did think I won, but you just never know in boxing with the judging. So when they did announce and they knew, like I was just so happy, obviously. And it is just a point that, all the hard work that I've put in, all the sacrifices that I've made, all the shit that I've copped and all the, the backlash for everything and all that it's now kind of like, it's all been for something. And I was able to prove myself. I mean, I feel like I've done it already over and over, but I mean, I think you can't take this away from me. I just won. I just beat a long reigning champion for a legitimate world title belt, and I did it with different, like this, what's the word, like
it was a toe-to-toe scrap is what it was.
Yeah,
it really was. It's like I was saying during the broadcast that it looked like you were glued together almost.
Yeah, that's my kind of fight. She fought my fight and I was having so much fun in there. For me, that's my style, that's my natural style. So I was just it just felt so comfortable. I felt really relaxed going like that, and just letting it all flow because that's just what I do. That's my bread and butter. So it was really fun.
And the emotions?
The emotions, you mean after it?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a very emotional person. Like I kind of visualize myself like into the ground and like crying, do all the visualizing when you win, and I didn't really cry. I mean, I don't know, like I was just happy, like, but yeah, I'm not super emotional. I was just I think my biggest emotion I had was just a lot of like proud and pride, and also just so grateful for Mark, you know what I mean, for Mark Tibbs. That's some real, like, I just couldn't be happy and more thankful to Mark because I had a lot to do with him as well on the night, you know what I mean, in the corner, and just the camp with him, to bring me in my best shape and teach me so much, and it all to come together.
You just said for all the SHIT that you've copped, can you explain that in a way?
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously everyone just, not everyone, there's still so many people out there that just think I'm some gimmick, I'm just like boobs and I'm just a lingerie model. And even though I'm pretty sure I proved myself with the Shannon fight, and I proved myself knocking out Beck Connolly, and I proved myself beating Gangloff with one hand, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I would hope that now being a world champion and beating the longest reigning world champion in a fight like that and winning decisively, people can see that I'm not a gimmick. Like I'm the real deal. Like I really am, and I work really hard, and I deserve that win, and I think I deserve the respect. But in the same sense, I mean, I don't fight for respect. I don't do what I do for respect. I just do me. But I mean, you can't deny me, man, and you can't just say that I'm just boobs and I'm just, a social media boxer. Like, I just know what I'm doing, I just know what I'm doing with my business, and I can train just as hard and more hard than everyone else, and put all the sacrifices that I do and all the training that I do, plus my business on social media. So I'm doing it all. Everything I do is 100%. I put effort into every single aspect of my life. So, and it's coming true, it's the fruits of the labor are blossoming.
Do you think, treating this seriously and talking about it seriously, you and I have touched on this before, because you're so comfortable about your physique with not many clothes on, because you've done that in, posed bodybuilding and so on. It's nothing new to you, but maybe it's new to a lot of boxing people. Now, I've been pilloried in the past for comparing you. I'm not going to say the name right now. You know who it is, one of the greatest. But my point was, it was taken out of context. My point was, you're very different. And you're doing nothing other. I know it's a bit of fun for you in the weigh-in as well, and you're very comfortable with it, and it does draw attention. Maybe it will always be there, particularly with your weigh-ins are a particular thing because of your physique. And you know, it's as you prove yourself more in your career, that will become, that's just part of your SME. That's part of your the way you are. It's part of your, it is a gimmick. It can be a gimmick. There's nothing wrong with it as a gimmick.
Yeah.
You know, the jokes about Eddie Hearn having to avert his eyes.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, it's part of the promotion. It's part, it's not, you know, I don't, you know, it's about people getting used to different norms as well, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, definitely. Look, you know, I look just as forward to weigh in as I do the fight. Like, it's just another, it's like an event, it's another event for me, which I love. You know, and it's not just about, you know, me standing there in like nice underwear. You know, it's also just the way I have the stage presence. It's called stage presence. You know, I'm on the scales and I'm up there with presence, you know, and with femininity and elegance, and the way I move, you know, the way I do my poses, the way I stand up there. There's a lot of girls trying to do the lingerie and trying to do the nice underwear, but that it comes with my confidence and the way I can move, which just adds that little bit more to it because of my bodybuilding background, because that's what I did for 10 years. Do you know what I mean? And I enjoy it. And it is it's just a bit of an extra thing, you know what I mean, that comes included with me fighting and being what I do, doing what I do in the ring, you know what I mean? And I'll always do it, you know, because I enjoy it. I enjoy weighing day.
Let's talk about the future. Obviously, you've got this, but it's so important now to retain the title and unify, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. 100%. You know what I mean? I think it was a big win for me to obviously beat the longest reigning champion. It wasn't a vacant title. It wasn't just fighting someone for a vacant title. It wasn't fighting a fresh champion that's been a champ for a year and to their first defense or their second defense, you know. Cecilia was the real deal as well, you know, and I think that now, you know, obviously that was a good achievement for me, and now it's given me confidence to know that I can defend it, you know what I mean? Because I've just beat someone so experienced, and I believe in myself and everything I've learned. But I'll be looking obviously to defend and then unify. You know, I've spoke to Eddie. If anyone's seen it online, I did have a chat with Eddie, and he wants me to defend it, and he doesn't want me to jump straight into a unification, which obviously I would like to do, being a fighter, you know what I mean, I was going to unify. But he was, you know, him and my management team think it would be good to do a defense first, and then, you know, look into unifying, or depending on what Shani's up to, you know, we can always make that fight. There's so many options for me, you know what I mean? I'm the biggest name in the division, if not one of the biggest names in women's boxing at the moment. So now that I've got a belt, not only I had a target on my back before just because of I was the blonde bomber, but now I've also got the belt. It's a bigger target, you know, and there's just so many options. Anyone will fight me, you know, because they know they'll get the money and they'll get the exposure.
You mentioned Shani. That's obviously Shannon Courtney. Amazing fight you had with her a year ago.
Yeah.
Interestingly, even though you and her are rivals, and I suggested on one show recently that sometimes when there's so much enmity, so much rival between two people, they actually don't want to fight again. Now, you you shamed other people for fat shaming her the other day. You stood up for her. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I did. You know, I see a lot of stuff on the internet, having a dig at Shannon and her weight and the comments and the pictures, and people send it to me because they think it's funny, obviously. And I just don't.
It's not funny.
I just don't.
It's not funny.
No,
yeah.
I don't like it. I don't care if she's my enemy or my rivalry
In the ring, yeah.
Especially as a fellow female fighter and a fighter in general that knows that you put on weight between fights like you do. And also the fact that she used to have weight issues. She's obviously very, very insecure, you know, and I just, you know, I hate to say it, but I feel sorry for her because, you know, like I could just imagine what that's like. And I know what it's like when people say shit about me if I'm not like the same I am when I'm jump on the scales. Like I'm not going to look like that. I look like that for a day. Why do you think I believe, you know, milk it so much. Do you know what I mean? But honestly, like I'm just like, just don't tease her or don't shame her for what she's like now. I mean, I'm all about, I'll give it to her when she doesn't make weight on the scales because she have one fucking job. Do you know what I mean? Especially as a world champ, you have one job and that's to make that weight on that day. And as long as you can make weight on that day, then it doesn't really matter what you walk around with off season, like out of camp. Like that's your own problem. It's just going to make it harder for you. But it's not like someone, I just don't like the shaming of it. So like I did say, save it for if she doesn't make weight again. Do you know what I mean? Because that's the job. But it's not her job to stay really, it's not really her job to stay at her fight weight all year round. Do you know what I mean? And I just think like, you know, she's had an injury and she's had issues with her weight before. And I just didn't like it. I just, you know, because deep down I'm a good person, you know, and I have a heart. And I felt sorry for her because I just would hate to be in her shoes. Like I feel, you know, like, yeah. Like there's other things she's done, which I'm thinking, oh yeah, give a shit for that because she's an idiot. But I don't like that.
Is it, are you looking to fight Shannon Courtney next?
Probably, but yeah, do not, to be honest, I want her to get a belt. She didn't want to fight me when you know, after she finished fighting me, she made a big point of it. You know, she means nothing. She's nothing to me. But in reality, she's even less to me than I would have been. At least I was a name to her. Do you know what I mean? Like, she doesn't, you know, like I don't need her. I could literally fight anyone. Like, and do you know what I mean?
But that's a big fight here, though, in Britain, isn't it?
Of course.
You know, you have a presence here in Britain and a following now. It's a big fight here, isn't it? That rematch.
I think it's a big fight all around. You know, a lot of people around the world tuned into that fight. Everyone wants to see it, but I think I would like it to be for unification. So I do wish her well. I hope she wins the belt so we can make it for unification. Otherwise, I'm going to defend and unify myself, and then maybe I'll give her a shot. Do you know what I mean? Just as a yeah, let's have the fight. You know what I mean? But I want to go and get my goals and smash my goals out. So
you mentioned obviously Mark Tibbs, brilliant. You're training with him. Obviously, it goes back decades with his father Jimmy as well. Who's very, very knowledgeable in the sport. Does that mean you're now going to be based in the UK in general, or you know, and just stay here and literally be boxing out of Britain? I see you're a Leeds United fan. Maybe you were always, but does that mean if you fight in a stadium in London, you're going to be an Arsenal fan, or what?
No, no. I've always been a Leeds fan, but definitely not Arsenal. No, look, I'll definitely. I'll definitely I'm looking to be continuing on with Mark, and I will base myself here as much as I can. I need to go home.
No injuries, and so you can get out. Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened? Tell us about the injury and how long it'll keep you out then.
I'm not sure. I still got to get an X-ray on it, but it's pretty much from the fight with Gangloff. I smashed my hand up pretty bad, and with this fight, it's just flared it right up, and it's really painful, really, really swollen. So
fractures in there, do you suspect?
I don't think it's fractures. I feel like it's just the joint. I've got like the joints all around my metacarpals are all off aligned. So it's just very inflamed and really sore at the moment. It's very weak and painful. That's why I'm wearing a brace, because it needs to rest. If I don't rest it, then it won't get better. So the brace just helps it rest, because otherwise I just keep using it, keep pushing through the pain. Look, it's not as bad as it was with the Gangloff, so I'm not expecting it to be a 3-month recovery or 4-month recovery like the Gangloff fight. But unfortunately, if my hand was fine, I'd be get me out on a Katie Taylor undercard, like get me out ASAP. But I can't punch with it at the moment. So there's that. But I had no injuries during camp, which was great. It's the first time ever. But yeah, just this hand at the moment, which I think is going to continue to be an issue unless I have surgery, which I don't really want to do.
Before I let you go, do a couple of picks for me then. Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, April 30th in New York.
I pick Serrano for the Katie Taylor fight.
Do you? And is that a points victory for Serrano, or?
You know what? Katie Taylor has a pretty good chin, but she's been diving in a lot with her head in the last few fights. So it wouldn't surprise me if she dives in straight onto that straight left of Serrano's. She could get knocked out, but I think it could be a points. You know, Serrano's relentless as well, and she's very strong and she's very experienced and she's got a pro style. So I'm really interested to see how she does. I think she's going to try and break down Katie's body and try and stop Katie from moving so much, and maybe even bait her in to do what she does, how she kind of dives in a bit and throws her hands and see what happens. But that's my opinion. I mean, who knows? Katie Taylor could be too fast with the hands for Serrano, but yeah, I'm definitely leaning towards Serrano with that one.
Come on, while I've got you, if so, Savannah Marshall wins for you. Obviously, they're building up to Savannah Marshall and Clarissa Shields for all the middleweight titles later this summer. Who wins that one?
This is hard for me to pick. I honestly can't pick this one. I mean, it all points to me to Clarissa just for a lot of things, but then Savannah can knock people out. You know what I mean? Savannah has so much strength, and she's quite awkward as well. So, I mean, can Clarissa deal with that power and awkwardness? But you know, I think Clarissa is very slick, very elusive herself, and she has a high work rate as well. She's, you know, and I don't think Clarissa could knock out Savannah, but she could outpoint her. So I don't know, but it's an exciting fight, and I need to see it so I can have my answers, my questions answered.
Listen, timing's everything. Timing's everything in our sport. Timing's everything. You've come at the right time. You've got your title at the right time. Onwards and upwards. It's great to see you. Many congratulations again, Ebanie.
Always a pleasure, Gareth. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.